You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Tales from the Flipside. We just lost
our CEO.
We lost our CEO. Episode 137. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We've got a bunch of people in the live already.
Is it 137 again? It feels like we've done that episode like 6 times in my head.
Man, you're on loop today, bro.
I feel like we keep saying it's 137 every time.
You're on loop today, bro. Just start drinking that get good drink, bro. Everything will get better. Introduce yourselves, boys.
Z, who is apparently stuck in a time loop, so we'll see what I spit out this week.
I'm Nico, your weekend update correspondent with comicbookinvest.com. If you would kindly read my Saturday article and talk shit in the comments, I'd appreciate it. I particularly liked the comment this week where someone was like, "Did you know that Boris Vallejo was married?" As if I didn't know that. Like, I know his wife's an artist. She's very talented. But anyway, I like that. Talk shit. It's fucking great.
Some nice Frazetta talk in that one.
I also like the guy on IG who posted angry comments that was like, "I fucking follow your YouTube and your IG." He's my favorite. I would like to get his address so I can send him some stuff. I live for the shit talking.
Well, he also had a really great name, too.
What was it?
Was it like Beaver Comics or something?
Oh, yeah, Beaver Comics, dude. It makes me so happy. So shout out to our man Beaver Comics. If you will get us your address, I'll send you something. I promise.
Deno, aka the CEO.
Yeah.
I'm kind of see. I think what we're gonna do is for like a year, I'm gonna upgrade at different spots in the house as I progress post.
Okay.
So I'll be in the basement probably next week with like nothing. So
yeah, we want to see the club being built. Round up.
I got maybe it'll just be like 2x4s and like some electrical outlets, and that's all it's gonna be, and then drywall and insulation, and we'll see.
Yeah, disco balls and holes and all that stuff come later.
Oh boy.
Well, interesting week this week. It was chock full of movie news, it feels like.
Lots of Marvel, man. It was a Marvel week.
Yeah, dude, it was. And wasn't DC Fandom just happening? Like, talk about a waste. We don't even remember that DC Fandom 2 happened. All we know is Marvel.
That hype machine is strong.
Yeah. So I guess the big one that we when we were going into Hot 10 last week, the She-Hulk Jen Walters news broke, and we didn't. It just had happened. So it was funny because that Hot 10, the number one last week was the Kang stuff, which had just broke the Hot 10 before it.
And then, it was as if people promptly forgot about Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have an attention span about the length of a Paul's problem.
So, all right, we as soon as the news hit, there was people buying those books. I think a couple sold immediately off of my comic shop. I think like another high grade one was bought immediately. What's going on? Have you guys been keeping an eye on those?
No, I probably should have put it on the market report, but that book, I don't know. It's a solid book. It's been climbing for, a decade. It was a $100 book. Then it was $150. Then it was $200. It's been the definition of a steady earner.
Yeah, I think it's like a $600.98 these days. With my
book. Maybe
it's been a long time since I've looked at it.
Let's go take a quick peek. But right. I think you're a tad low, but not much. But
well, there we go. Still climbing. What do you guys think of Tatiana Maslavi from Orphan Black?
I like her. I like her. Definitely like her in Orphan Black. Orphan Black was badass. I don't know how it's going to translate to She-Hulk, but I'm in.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I don't know that show, but
Okay, so it's worth a watch. It's a long burn. It is a BBC show. The first season was exceptional, and like a lot of BBC television that isn't Sherlock or select seasons of Doctor Who, it kind of fizzled out for me. It wasn't. There's a handful of them that are just really exceptional, but a lot of that stuff just I don't think they've got the budget or the writers to really excel. But she was a star. She played someone. She played I don't want to ruin the plot, but she plays a half a dozen different characters that are all different versions of herself, and she does it exceptionally. I mean, really, I thought she deserved a lot of high praise from people at like the Emmys or something. I would have thought that she would have won Best Actress. She may have won Best Actress. It's been a long time since that show first hit, but she was exceptional. So if you want a taste of her, I would watch some clips on YouTube of that, and I think you'll be much more excited about that casting than you would be if you aren't familiar with her.
I love our fans.
They're the greatest, dude. World's greatest. Yeah.
Listen, Marvel doesn't usually cast poorly. Even the Netflix stuff, other than Iron Fist, was cast really well. I mean, Luke Cage was great. Punisher was great. Jessica Jones kind of fit to a T. Even most of the supporting cast was there. The Marvel Universe, they kill it. It would be hard pressed to think they wouldn't have chosen a knockout hit.
You mean because since Iron Fist did so well?
I excluded Iron Fist.
Yeah. Now, so here's kind of my question: do you think there's room to grow on any of her keys? I mean, we see there's books like the innuendo covers or the jump rope covers for the modern good girl art covers that are popping. There's some rare variants. There's her first appearance. I like those Time Variance Authority issues because I think they're dirt cheap. And I think they're going to become important. We can kind of talk about that a little later when we get to the spec stuff. But, I think we saw this week how, and I don't want to jump the gun and start talking about WandaVision, but we've seen how just a little news can really propel those books that people weren't paying attention to when it comes to.
Well, I just don't know what's the top out number anymore,
Good point.
You asked us 2 years ago, and our top out number is here, and now there's so much new money in this hobby that it's nuts. I don't know, man. I thought it would be a top at $500-600 a few years ago.
Coming from a guy who had like 25 She-Hulk ones at some point, because I bought them at a garage sale back in the day, and everybody thought I was crazy. They were hard 9.8s. I don't even think I got one 9.8. I graded most of them, and out of 12, I got maybe 1.96, and the rest were 9.4s, 9.2s, 9.0s. I think that's the only book, honestly. Maybe there's a couple extra, but I mean, I don't
like that Saya Ohm Ghost will go. Some of those, rare ones will pop.
Yeah. When you guys start talking about books to look out for, what are the I see in the chat, everybody's asking what are the books for She-Hulk. The only She-Hulk book other than She-Hulk #1 that I can remember is that was even comes into my head other than those innuendo covers is this one, this Civil War #8, because it was back when that Civil War was coming out. I was reading really heavily, and I bought all the tie-ins. And this Civil War #8 was low printed for some reason. It was really hard to get, and they did a bunch of extra printings of it. But that's the only one I could think of that might be worth.
Well, there's a ton of late printings. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a handful of late printings. Robert Fordham's talking about the She-Hulk 1 graphic novel. I thought about that book and caught a lot of hell from people about it, but it's
in 9.8. That thing's a bitch.
Yeah, it's all black.
And She-Hulk 1 comes in a newsstand too, so I'd look out for that one too.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't know which iteration they're going to follow, or which rather series they're going to follow, which volume. There's been different people who've had different opinions about that. I mean, at points in time, we heard that it was going to be like a transactional Law and Order, Ally McBeal kind of feel with some superhero stuff. And then, other people have had some different theories about it. But I'll be happy no matter what it is.
Well, and it's also, Marvel seems to be on the Disney Plus stuff, opening the world up. I mean, WandaVision does not look like a standard superhero show, so who knows what they'll run with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what WandaVision looks like to me? It looks like every comic fanboy's dream. Like, they're going to have Easter egg galore in that shit, man. They're going to be taken from all our favorite little storylines. They're going to take them from our favorite shows that we grew up with. All that stuff, man.
So I don't want to. I'll wait until we're about to roll into something new. But I kind of got a theory on what they're going to do there. I shared with Z. I feel like it's a David Lynch tone, and I'm really excited about it.
You don't want to roll.
the trailer?
You don't want to roll into this question. How about a villain for She-Hulk?
Oh,
Yeah. So people are talking about the what's the villain that appeared in Secret Wars? Help me out.
Beyonder?
No. Like her little. She had a villain in Secret Wars. But I got a feeling they may do time variance authority stuff there, and then just keep it transactional with a legal drama, and then like that one villain. I can't remember their name. Shame on me.
By the way, here's my favorite She-Hulk cover.
Oh, the Adam Hughes.
I love that book, man. It's such a good early Adam Hughes. It's just a great.
Thank you, Steve Horn. Yes, sir. You got him.
Titana.
Yeah, is Secret Wars Volume 1. You're gonna have to use Google. You can figure it out quicker than I can remember it.
I'm not sure here. Let me see here.
Want me to pull up the
First appearance, Secret Wars number 3.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks.
So
That's about as good as I can come up with. But I'm not really too into like low grade villain spec on a TV show.
Yeah, it never pops out. I mean, look at like I guess that's a bad example of Iron Fist, but even like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, like it's not like they went for crazy money, I mean, look at all the Arrow stuff, and
yeah, it's very few villains actually pop. Which Arrow did a hell of a job showcasing villains.
Yeah, and for the record, Doom appears in one of those volumes that they're talking about being a thing, and there's a second print of that. That book sells for nothing. I would just grab it as like the long shot of the century because it could go for crazy money if it hits.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little early to start getting some solid kind of rumor mill stuff generating right now.
yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the WandaVision stuff a little bit more. Favorite things from the teaser, from the trailer. You guys see anything you really thought was cool?
Monica Rambeau. Cheap book. Smart book. They're everywhere. They're on eBay. They're nowhere in shops. I hit shops like a crazy person all the time. Those books are in people's hands. She's long been speculated on. She appears in that new Ultimates cast that everybody believes is kind of a primer for the second wave of Avengers. I don't know which iteration they go with her. Like, do they do Photon or what? But that's the book. And it'll be interesting to see how powered up she is and how well she's received, and then how prominent of a character she becomes.
Yeah, she's a super powerful character. A lot of people don't realize how powerful she is, but it'll be kind of I mean, her early stuff wasn't that great in my opinion, but they made her really badass. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right.
Agatha Harkness is obviously going to be in the series, right? I mean, we see her there. I wonder if they introduce any of the Doctor Strange 2 rumored characters in WandaVision. Yeah, as Ultra said, could be Spectrum, could be Photon. You know, I don't know exactly how they do her, or like which sort of like iteration, for lack of a better description, they do of Monica Rambeau. But I like that book as a solid 9/8 that's dirt cheap right now. I think I got a stack of them.
They didn't. Steve Horn asked if they showed babies or pregnancy. No, but I thought I saw
They
like
did.
some
No,
kids.
they showed 2 babies.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and there's even dialogue that sort of intimates like, where are your children? It was like, you know, what's your backstory? That,
Yeah, I saw that.
you know, I think is kind of like got that feel to it. Now, the babies might not have been in the trailer. They may have been in other shots that I've seen over the course of the last 6 months that have leaked out. But yeah, it looks like they're going to set up the 2 babies. So obviously what is that, issue 12 of volume 1, where those babies are born. And then, you know, theoretically we'll see them as Viv and Wiccan and Speed, right? Or yeah,
Wiccan and the other one. That's what everybody says.
Thanks, Steve. I'm with you. I'm like, you know, the character.
Was there a married with children thing I didn't catch?
Well, it could have been the fact, or it could have been Family Ties. Could have been Married with Children. It's just
reminds me of what was that show on FX? What was that show that we used to watch on FX?
That 70s show, because the mom was in it.
No, not that. I meant the FX show. Remember, and it was like a crazy shit.
Oh yeah. Legion.
I think it's going to be like Legion, where it's going to be a complete mind fuck when it comes to like what happens and like going around and like.
Legion was good. I forgot about Legion. That shit was good.
Yeah, talk about like awesome TV shows that did nothing for comics.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the thing?
Well, hold on. There was when that shit first started, that Legion first appearance was selling for decent money.
The issue is we're dealing with Disney Plus. This is a premier kind of channel. It's not FX. It's not whatever.
No question about it. Yeah,
and it's going to tie to the movies. It's going to tie to everything. So that makes it kind of a different beast.
Yeah. Do you want to kind of roll into what we were talking about with the spec stuff a little bit?
Sure.
All right. So we've seen kind of some advertisements from Brie Olson. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where she's holding up the House of M book, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Brie Larson? Who?
No.
Did you say Brie Olson?
Yeah.
You meant Olsen.
Okay. No, I thought he did say Olsen, but it's not Brie, right? What's her first name? Elizabeth
Olsen. Brie Olsen.
That was a nice combo, though.
Yeah,
I think Brie Olsen is an adult film star, but that's
why it caught me, because I went Charlie Sheen. Hold on.
Yeah, I think that was who that was. Anyway, there, Freudian slip. Elizabeth Olsen. Thank you. So we've seen kind of the spot where she's holding up House of M #1. And then we've seen the spot where she's holding up House of M #7. And we've seen her talk publicly about No More Mutants. And in spite of that, those books have done absolutely nothing. Collectors have just kind of been like, standoffish. How could they possibly do that, right? Like, how do they do it? And I think I figured out how they do it. Like, how do they get her to say it? She's already said it. And we are in the reality of post No More Mutants. You with me?
Yeah.
And then they roll it back. So I think that's what we're going to see happen. And I think that's how they're going to introduce mutants into, from House of M. You got it, buddy.
I love it. I
think that's how they're going to introduce mutants. They're going to do that. They're going to start it in the TV show, and then they're going to roll it out in the Multiverse of Madness. And it's all going to be about getting the mutants back.
They're here.
They're already here. They've always been here. She just changed reality. Yeah, Ultra Maximus. She already said no more mutants. Yeah. Good job, buddy.
I like this one. She's already lost her mind. Yep. Amen. Yeah, that's great. I like that. I really like that. I'm all for that. Help me sell some of that House of M stuff that I got.
Too many copies is the quotes.
What's that?
See, everyone's House of M was on everyone's pull list in 04 and 05.
Yeah, that hasn't sort of slowed down anything. So
There's a lot of She-Hulk ones out there.
If only rarity was a factor, right? So this, like, literally within the last 48 hours or so, we saw the Wanda House of M 1 in 20 variant go from being like $5-10 book to $50 sold on eBay. There were no more listings the last time I looked. Like, they literally bought all of them off of every site, every auction, everywhere. Like, there were no more copies. Now, admittedly, it's an awesome cover, but she doesn't say no more mutants in issue 1. She says no more mutants in issue number 7. So the B cover, the incentive cover, you got a graphic for that, Brian?
Do I?
Yeah, they're still out there because, when I talk about books,
hold on. Which one do you want?
Make sure you can still buy them. The No More Mutants, the House of M7 variant.
Gotcha.
They're out there. They're on eBay. It was one of the books I sent you.
This one, yeah. This one's gorgeous.
No,
That's the one that's gone. Like, there are no more copies anywhere.
Yeah. All right. I remember this one too. Hold on, let me see here. Which one?
Number 7, second print. That's the convention variant for 1. Nobody seems to care about it. It was a Wizard World thing.
Tell me when you see it, but I don't see it here. What am I looking for?
Yeah.
just go to MCS, man.
All right.
Well, anyway, the point is, I'd like to have been holding, 10 copies of that Wanda variant today to sell them for $50 a piece. And when she says no more mutants on the WandaVision TV series, I hope that you're holding on to a couple 9/8s to pop off for $400. You can get these books now in high grade for like $15-20. I don't know what the incentive ratio was. I do know it was an incentive cover, at least according to Midtown, my comic shop, and some of the other trusted sources. I apologize. I was not reading back in 04-05. So forgive me.
Well, I did some research for an article way back in the day when I wrote for the site, and the 2004-2005 variants, they didn't tend to shift throughout the series. They tried to stay fairly constant. So I think it's going to be. I think it's a 1 in 20. There's an off chance it's a 1 in 10, but it wouldn't be less than that.
Okay.
But just looking at some of the other research from that era, but there's no good records online, at least.
Yeah, and none of the rules really matter with rarity and scarcity when it comes to the X-Men. I mean, X-Men 1, Silver Age, not an uncommon book. Hulk 181, not
An uncommon book.
an uncommon book. You name it, you can go through them. I think Uncanny X-Men 266 is the second most slabbed book, period.
SM300, lots of those.
Yeah.
98. We can go down the list, man.
Yeah, you can go down the list. So, people love mutants. I think, picking those up for cheap, look, they're going to get cleared off if our listeners actually buy the shit we talk about. But then they'll be back. They'll be a little bit higher and then a little bit lower. I don't exactly know when this thing's going to launch or where she's going to say that in the series.
Well, and if you were right, man, that's like the turning point in the universe for him.
Yeah, it'll be the most. It'll be like the most critical thing that's happened since the snap.
I bet you. I hate to say it. I bet you it happens on a cliffhanger of season 1 going into season 2.
That'd be sweet.
Interesting.
I mean, you got to have a cliffhanger because you got to think about this, boys. Let's talk about. I guess if I'm Disney and I got Disney Plus and I got a new subscription besides Mandalorian, right? I mean, you need something with a banger that's going to keep people in the subscription business. And you got Mandalorian season 2, season 3 and all that stuff. I mean, then you got, if
Winter Soldier seems to be on hold,
Yeah, and you got WandaVision coming out. You need another couple more bangers to roll out.
Yeah.
I mean, not Netflix.
So, Deno, what if it's not for a season 2, but you do it and then you go straight into Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, it could, that's what Kent said. Season 1 leads into Doctor Strange. I mean,
which is what we've heard. So here's kind of the next question: do you do it at the end of Doctor Strange and
you
roll
do it
into
in
season?
Yeah, that's what you do. You do it in Doctor Strange and then roll into season 2.
Right, like that's the big reveal. Like she said it.
I mean, the
already.
problem is like, I don't think Wanda will be made for to have a season 2, but it's like, why would you invest all that production time, all that money? I mean, I understand you're leading it into a blockbuster movie, but I mean.
It's just to move the universe, man. It may or may not.
Yeah, I don't know. But so let's talk because everything's whacked. Let's be fucking.
I mean, look. I mean,
Investor Day is coming. What the hell's going to happen?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, nothing. I mean, look at Tenet with Nolan, right? And they just spent $1 billion on Tenet and Nolan, and I think it made $36 million at the theaters. I mean, now that's sans this whole problem, but I mean, it's an interesting thing. Do you throw, And then the problem with Mulan, right? We'll talk about Mulan and Disney Plus. So you have a Disney Plus subscription, and you're saying Mulan is, I think my wife said it was like $59.99 to rent it, or you can wait 30 days and just get it for free on Disney Plus. It's like you got to make money somehow. I mean, it's.
So last year for Investor Day, they confirmed the Falcon Winter Soldier TV show.
Yep.
This time, will they announce anything? Will they announce stuff to try to a little something to try to hype people up? Will they announce that they're going to release Black Widow on TV so that they can release Falcon on TV? Because I assume that that's what's holding up Falcon and the Winter Soldier is it's inextricably linked to the post-credit scenes or plot of Black Widow. Do they do the Mulan thing with it? I mean,
well, I think they also had some production delays, but yeah.
Yeah, they have to tell the investors something, though, right?
I think their best bet's gonna have to be another series, man. You can't do shit with movies right now. You're like 6 movies back.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you do a movie and then you. I hate to say it. Maybe Brian knows. Like maybe they moved to the middle of Arizona, where there's like nobody in a desert, and set up where they're like in a bubble for production. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how they're gonna. I mean, they can't go shoot in L.A. or shoot in New York or shoot.
They can't shoot anywhere, man. That's the problem.
I tend to think the reason that Falcon and the Winter Soldier isn't done filming is because they're going to go back and do a lot more with that Truth miniseries, that the original African American Cap that was rumored a long time ago to be a plot piece, and I imagine it was probably like a little tiny bit, but they probably blow that stuff up now. Certainly, there's a cultural impetus to do that.
I would pay $30 to watch Black Widow.
But wait a second. Let's bring it back though. So that's a good point. Can you put that back up if Black Widow dropped tomorrow? So Chris Colbert said if Black Widow dropped tomorrow, we're all paying $30 to watch because we have nothing else.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, but it's supply and demand. Think about it, boys. Like if it's a shitty show, everybody pay $30 and going to bitch about it, right? I mean, it's got to be quality product. I mean, how many times are you going to go to the well? I mean, you can get away with it now, right? Because we have demand, but we have no supply, so anything's going to be decent.
Well,
and then
I know you talk like that's a big price, but man, I got to take 3 kids, sometimes my wife, you know, so $30 for me to drop. Mulan didn't sell us because we were like, kids sort of wanted to see it, but they're like, we'll wait. If it was a Marvel movie, we're going. I mean, and that's $70 for me to go.
Say it's $60. Would you still buy it?
No,
I wouldn't do it for 30, man.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Well, your single is different.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pay-per-view.
But you know, 20 is a much better price point for me. But for a Marvel movie, I'd go 30.
It's bullshit for single people. I get it. That is great for a family. I'm not paying $30 for a fucking movie. I'm gonna go pirate that shit instead.
Yeah, that's true too. But the other problem too is like, you know, when you have, you know, it's like, where does Disney break even? I mean, at $30, yeah, you can make money, but I mean, more realistically, I mean, a new release is $49, $50, $60. I mean, it's almost like a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Look at Mulan. It wasn't $30.
They did well on some of that other shit. It's just what's your expectation? I mean, box office is dead. Bill and Ted, I heard people talking about that one. They're like, they made $3 million opening weekend, and that was respectable. $3 million. People have been talking. That would have been nothing, you know, before.
Whoa. This is new to me. Not only is Sony building studios in North Peoria here in Arizona, that's new to me. That's right. That's where I live. Second, Comics Garage is in Arizona. How did we not figure this out? Let's fucking get some Arizona fucking comic. I want to do some.
Chris, it was only 20
Arizona
though.
Comic Cons. Let's do it.
Trolls World Tour made $100 million off of 30. I thought it was only 20, but either way.
$100 million for
So
Trolls?
so wait a second. Trolls?
Because they didn't have to do any advertising, didn't have to do all that bullshit. They just make pure profit.
Correct. And they didn't have to do any advertising. And what they did is they made all the stars go on social media to promote it. And B, it wasn't a $30 rental. It was a $30 rental. It wasn't a $30 own it. So every time you had to watch Trolls, so like if your kids love Trolls in the 4 to 12 range or whatever it was, whatever the fucking main thing is, you'd have to re-rent it 1,000,000 times to watch it, you know?
Well, I don't know. That was the one of the blue people, the Pixar thing. That one did well.
Yeah, I liked it. I watched that one. That was decent.
But that was like, you know, buy it for 25, rent for 20. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair model to me.
So, no, it's very
they'll
interesting.
figure it out, man.
Yeah. If anybody's going to figure out, it's Marvel and the Mouse, man, right?
Now, here's the next question. Do they say we're finally going to get the What If animated series? What about the Moon Girl animated series?
Rocket Raccoon animated series that's supposed to come out where I've been saying where you steal stuff and, you know.
I want to go back to this question when we're done with everything else.
Okay.
Which question?
The Null.
One.
Do we think we'll ever get Null considering Sony owns the character? Man, there is so much shit they got to work out that it.
I mean, look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the most prominent thing, and they had to work that out for.
I mean, to get a shitty Venom movie took us forever.
Yep.
To get a second shitty Venom movie took us forever. We're going to probably get Carnage and hope it's not shitty. But it's not in the MCU. Null needs the MCU, and it's such an overarching fucking thing. Thor may be retired by then. I don't know, man. That feels like such a goddamn long shot.
Yeah,
or at least 10 years down the road.
They should have. The only way that I think we would see him in anytime soon is if this new Thor movie was the God of Thunder storyline.
But that doesn't seem to be what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough year. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I can't honestly. I really can't believe they're having an investors meeting. To be honest with you, I thought they would just push it. I mean, they're going to have a virtual. It's like having like Sony, right? Sony and Xbox. So I'll go back to this because Sony's building studios and AZ. Xbox really didn't have anything. So what did they do? They bought Bethesda and said, "Hey, we're gonna." Boom! There you go. We have every fucking video game on the planet now. It's like, it's. I don't know what Marvel does. I mean, I thought they would just push the investor meeting or just say, "Hey, it's status quo for now. We still have all this lined up." I mean, do they do extended trailers of all the current stuff they're working on? Because it's not like, I mean, you can't gather people. You can't have actresses that, it's like,
I think we might hear there's a Loki show kind of floating around, right?
Yep.
We might hear some of that. We'll probably see some animation from the What If. That's doable.
Yeah.
But other than that, man,
it's a lot of snippets and no movie talk, man. I mean,
maybe somebody's plotted far enough to give us one more Disney Plus kind of show.
Yeah.
If this happens, if Noah is dead in a year, I'm gonna laugh so hard. What
or the other option, and we're focusing on fucking Marvel. They could announce more Star Wars shit.
Yeah, I mean,
not movies per se, but I bet they could have some more series. We'll hear some more Kenobi. We'll hear some of that stuff.
I mean, it just dropped Mandalorian, so I mean,
I'm up and down with Star Wars right now because I feel like they've really screwed the pooch during the whole COVID thing with their Celebration. They could have dropped some serious info at Celebration that would have created some major hype, and it was just completely. It was probably one of the worst COVID conventions that was done. Like, it was bad.
It was better than DC Part 2.
Oh, no, it wasn't, man. It was bad. It was bad, dude. It was terrible.
Well, Star Wars fans are rabid. I've never seen anything like it. These guys started buying comic books, and now it's like every other comic book is $500, and every fourth Star Wars comic's $1,000. I mean, it's just like nothing I've ever seen. And I'm just kind of befuddled, to steal your word, John, about how many incredibly valuable books have come out of nowhere. It's like for every just banger Marvel late print, C-list, D-list character that's going bananas, there's a 1-for-1 with a Star Wars extended universe character. That's bonkers. Somebody who I respect. I think they're smart about comics, period. They just told me they paid $750 for a CGC 9.8 Legacy 1. And I was like, you did what? That book cost that much? Holy shit. We talked about the third printing of that. Adam used the white backgrounds and how they were short printed, selling for huge money. The Coder 9s go for huge money. There's a handful of Tales books that are big money books. I mean, they just keep popping up like one after the next. The Star Wars fandom is amazing. And if you're not watching Tales from the Dark Side, please do yourself a favor. It's really good, even if you're somebody who's just getting back into Star Wars or curious about Star Wars. They do a really good job. Solo Wookiee. There's one of my favorite Star Wars aficionados. They do a really good job of making the content accessible to guys who aren't, don't have a PhD in, Sith lore. Believe me, I don't. But I'm able to watch this show, consume the content, and
for those of you that do have a PhD in Sith lore,
it's your spot.
It's your spot. So it's a good show. Yeah, you're right. One of the things that kind of going along with that is how the Star Wars, a lot of real big Star Wars fans are kind of like pissed that everybody is finally jumping on board because all the comic books are just getting popped. Like they're just buying stacks of them. Like they don't even care if they know.
I did it this weekend.
Yeah, you just buy all of them.
I went to a dollar sale and there's like 4 of us beelining it to Star Wars, right? And I was the last one. Now, thankfully, the other people apparently hadn't been doing such a good job of following the CBSI first appearance list, like your buddy George. So I was able to yank those out, and then I went to Knights of the Old Republic, and I was just like, took every single one of them.
Yeah.
I had taken all the tails, but somebody else did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my buddy who's not he's smart about Star Wars, don't get me wrong, and he's real smart about comics, but he's not like a fanboy. I mean, he basically hates 90% of modern comics. He's convinced that any Coder issue at cover price is a buy. You don't have to pay shipping for it and buy it. Same with Star Wars Tales.
Tales has been
And
like that for a while.
Just grab them. I paid. I don't even want to admit how much I paid for the Darth Maul versus Darth Vader book. I had the one boxing cover. I found a real solid copy of the other cover, which I didn't have, and I don't even want to talk about how much I paid for it. So I'm as guilty as anybody of paying top dollar for that crap.
That boxing cover is so hard to find in good condition, man. So hard. All those Tales books are really hard to find in good condition because they were thicker books. Oh man!
Plus, there's newsstand variants for all the Dark Horse stuff.
Rob's Nerd Haven's talking about that Mace Windu book. I mean, what that Mace Windu book, that first Asajj Ventress sold for some ridiculous number.
Well, he's talking about
give that fucking book away. I don't even want to talk about it.
He's talking about the first appearance of Mace Windu because he's now been rumored
a new show
by, I believe, Daniel RPK and Charles Murphy to have a TV series in development that's going to feature both Samuel L. Jackson and a younger version. I think maybe Sam's going to tell stories about his youth as a Jedi, or I don't exactly know how they're going to do it.
So basically the Star Wars Shaft version.
I can't wait, dude. It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
I'll take any of it. Yeah.
Yeah. The Path of the Righteous Man.
At this point, man, I'll take any Star Wars stuff. And Mace Windu was a badass. He had a purple lightsaber. You can't.
A righteous man.
Yeah. All right. What else? Anything else crazy before we get into this to this market report stuff? I'm gonna go get my drink real quick. I'll be right back. You guys fill in.
Yeah.
Fill in. Just leave us to mingle amongst ourselves.
You wanna crank through those spec books real quick?
Yeah, right now. I don't know if we got images or no.
I thought Brian uploaded them.
Well, Brian left to fill his drink, and I'm only on one screen, so
I got some stuff. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Do you know how to do it?
Yeah. Well, give me 30 seconds. Go ahead. So you can start talking. I'll get the images up. All
right. So the first book we talked about was the one you just showed. We talked about it earlier with respect to Wanda. I think the ones when they come down, the Quesada variants absolutely make sense, but I don't know that a $50 buy-in makes sense, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to get them for $50. They were legitimately gone from eBay earlier because I made a guy an offer of $20 on a $50 copy, and he was just like, nope, and it was sold, and I was like, son of a bitch. The 7 is the one we already talked about. We're having some technical difficulties here. Now, everybody's talking about going back and buying those X-Men ones, the Jim Lee covers, that they're getting good prices for the 9/8 and yada, yada. And the one that I like, the one that I think has a lot of nostalgia, is this X-Men Adventures #1. I buy them every chance I get because they're a children's book. They're never in high grade. And I think that, we have as good of a chance of anything of Disney relaunching this X-Men Adventures or whatever they may call it, animated series on Disney Plus. And I think that people are going to gravitate towards this book when they start running these cartoons. We've already seen the cartoon launch on Disney Plus. I don't know what a 9/8 of this will bring, but you can sure as hell pull out of dollar bins. I do.
It's funny. I tried to have my kid read X-Men 1. That
I don't know, Ken.
The Lee run, and it was like, he's like, I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. He's like, it's the most convoluted fucking mess. He's like, I have no idea what we're doing here.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, a lot of that X-Men stuff, you got to be an X-Men fan to read.
Well, I went back and tried to read it. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, man. That was tough. It was heavy.
Yeah, a lot of those characters, I still read them, and those voices. Like anytime I read Batman, it's what's his name, Kevin Gilroy or whatever his name is, that did the Batman Adventures voice. It's his voice in my head always.
Did you know you could get him on Waze app for a minute?
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. It was too distracting for me. I just turned it off after one drive, but it was cool for a minute.
Yeah, this Chris Colbert says the X-Men animated series was my intro as a kid, born in 1985. People younger than me weren't reading the 80s, 90s stuff. Yeah, for a lot of people, those animated series were their intro. Batman animated series, X-Men animated series, Spider-Man, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the same sort of advice goes for Batman the Animated Series #1. I think that book has a lot of room to grow. They're dirt cheap. You can find them out there. Everybody gravitates towards the number 12. I'd pick up the #1s. I'm not necessarily so hot on the last issue of these series because they weren't read serially. But I think this is something that people are going to want to have in their collection. And I can see guys our age paying, $20, $50 for a high grade copy. Who knows?
I'm a little older than you.
598.
I'm a little older than you, and mine, even before it was a first appearance thing, was the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends one. Man, that was a book that was a nostalgia buy. Now it's got a little heat because of the Firestar, but that book to me was like the essence of early after-school TV.
Same with Super Friends #7.
Yeah,
Wonder Twins.
Exactly.
Nice.
So these animated ones, there's some truth to them.
Yeah.
Did you talk about the first book on there yet, or is this the first perspective book you talked
First
about?
book's the one we talked about earlier. You couldn't find.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Do you want to take over so you got the better graphic?
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
All right. So you want to just start running through these? Now, here's my sort of thought process. We can just run through all these covers. If you watch me on YouTube, then you've heard me talk about these books. And I think they're more important now than ever. The McFarlane Batman stuff is now like $1,000 9.8. High grade copies of Batman are not what I would describe as uncommon. High grade copies of these Marvel Tales books are. It's a long run. I'd grab every single one you see out of dollar bins. I'd take them at $5. Hell, I'd probably take them high grade at $10 and sit on them. If they do a fraction of what the Batman stuff does, and they become $500 9.8s, it's lights out. I think the last time the newsstand high grades, good night. None of these.
Oh my god! If you were going to buy a piece of a McFarlane art, this would be amazing.
Right? Yeah, they're all beautiful, dude. I just picked a couple of my favorites. I really like this stuff. There's it's Classic X-Men. McFarlane did a Classic X-Men run. I didn't have time to pull up any of
So
the.
did Adam Hughes. Look for the Adam Hughes one.
The
Adam Hughes is nice.
You want to show the Adam Hughes?
Yeah, let me find that real quick.
I think those are kind of like just no-brainers. Your traditional shop owners have no idea what the hell they are. People look at you like you're nuts when you buy them. And I think we're going to see people trying to collect sets of this stuff. I think you're going to see people try to put together 9.8 sets of this stuff and have a hell of a time doing it. I think you're going to see the CGC, what the hell was Matt talking about, registry sets of this stuff pop up. It's just really cool. So the Adam Hughes X-Men class.
Wait a second. You just told me a couple weeks ago not to pursue my dream of a registry set.
Yeah, because I want you to save your money. I don't think it's a good financial investment for anyone. But I think other people do it, and I want to sell books to those people because as nutty as I am, they make me look sane. And they got mad money. They're as smart as they come. Those are serious collectors. Those kinds of like kids books with the X-Men Adventures one.
I love this cover too by Adam Hughes. This is a really tough cover to get in high grade in newsstand, and this goes along with those books you were talking about, Nico, where
Yeah.
you know, and I think Jim Lee even did some X-Men classic stuff, or Jim Lee did some Marvel's Tale stuff. But you can find a lot of these really famous cover artists. They kind of got they did a run of covers in these reprint type books.
Yeah, I totally
Mike Mignola.
forgot about the Marvel Tale stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, some of these are gorgeous. Like, this is one of my favorite Adam Hughes runs, is this classic X-Men classic run. It's towards the end of the classic X-Men run where they changed it to X-Men classic, but they do this great homage here to the Rogue cover with Wolverine. Just some really good stuff. Like, this is one of the, it's a good cover, but it's like, compared to the other ones, is not as great, but it's still a good cover. The same cover in the run. Just great stuff. So if you ever get a chance, check that stuff out.
I mean, and that's kind of my thought, is like, in a cover-driven market where people covet books in high grade, these are tough to find in high grade. If you can find them in back issue bins, you know, they're smart buys and potentially super low buy-ins. And I think you're going to see people grabbing more and more of this stuff as we get closer and closer to an X-Men introduction in the MCU.
Yep, I agree. Very cool. All right. You ready, Z, for some market report fun?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds here. Go ahead. You can pull it up.
Before we get you going here, we are going to try and bring on Bird City when we get a chance here. They have some new interesting stuff going on over there that we're going to talk to you about. But we'll wait for them to come on. So go ahead, dude.
All right, go ahead and pick a book.
All right.
All right, this one's a wonky one. And you guys questioned me because I talked about people coveting like labels and cases and shit, because I'm a fan of the red label modern CGC, you know, first year books. This one, Young Avengers Wizard World 9.5. I'm not getting into the census because it's freaking wacky in there. There's all kinds of iterations and they don't list the 9.5.
Well, there's 285 copies, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're numbered.
All right. Well, yeah, but they're not all 9.5s anymore.
Absolutely not. Right.
There's 400 and some. There's 400 and some in the census. I don't know how many are what grade, and I don't. Who knows if they're all 9.5s? You know, created equal. It was just put them in a slab. But this cover in the red slab in February was a $225 book. Huh. August topped out at $30.51, which was the next sale. There was January, February, August. Then a later sale in August, $2,800, September, $2,500, and now $1,575. So it's lost a lot of gas. But if you compare it versus,
Matt Nelson made fun of the disparity on the interview. I mean, even the head grader thinks it's bananas.
I agree. And a 9.8. The highest 9.8 sale is $911, and many are much, much lower. People like a rarity, regardless of it. They want the case that's different. They want the whatever that's different. They want. I mean, CGC isn't doing Spider-Man labels for no reason. You know. So, just keep that in mind as you're buying things. Look for the weird. It may not make sense to you, but buy it.
I thought it was awesome hearing Matt talk about this book in general, because I know we talk about this book a lot. So if you guys haven't heard that interview, make sure you guys go check out Matt Nelson's most recent interview with Nico. It was very, very informative. So, all right. Boom.
All right. This book is a weird one to me, too. Kanan, Last Padawan 1, second print. Only 11 in the census. 10 of them are 9.8. 5 total sales. One was whenever it came out, an SS 9.8 went for about $22 at the time. But the 4 more recent sales in the past year have been between $475 and $600. This one hitting $517. So I have no idea how rare it is. I mean, nobody collected Kanan #1, I feel like. So
You called the Kanan Kanan.
yeah,
Yeah, you act like it was spelt with a C.
Okay. First appearance is Sabine Wren.
Yep.
Second print, rare. We talked about all these crazy, like $500, $1,000. This is one of them out of nowhere.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
The appearance is 1 page. There's a 1-page appearance.
I'm retiring.
Just go buy the magazine. If you want one, I got one for you.
Just put the fucking Lethal Weapon thing up every time that these books come up, and I'm fucking too old for this shit. That's me.
If I had a supercomputer, I'd roll it up, dude. I'd show it off to you.
All right, what are we gonna talk about next? Because this one, I don't know. Whatever.
I like this book.
This is a Nico special here. Nico loves this show. I couldn't get past episode 2.
I'm
tried.
Catholic. It's just nostalgia for me. You know what I mean?
Catholic guilt and all.
Yeah, I got it all.
I probably like it. I went to Catholic school, so
Yeah.
I am truly surprised there's less copies of this graded than thought. In the census, 70 of them, 798s. That's it.
I was shocked that this was still bringing $500.
I think it's a slow. Well, it never did before. That's the thing.
Oh, wow.
So in the past, there's only 798s, mind you, in the past 2 years. So 2019 had a 150 sale and a 199. April had a 150. This one just blew the trend at 500. Now it's the only one sold since the show came out, and the 9.6 did sell for 100 in that time frame. I think, these bad girl lady death people are pretty serious about their books and aren't trying to flip them per se. They're in their collections. They bought them for a reason and they love them.
Shout out to Chris Colbert. He's got to let us know how is it Colbert? I hope I'm saying it right. Just let us know if we're saying it right if it's Colbert. But bring it up, Battle Pope. Love you, brother. Love you.
But yeah, it was a surprising sale to me. It was one of those books that selling for $20-$30 as the show went out. Maybe it's kind of trending and getting a fan base. I don't know.
Colbert. Thank you. There we go. That's how we do it.
Next one is actually my favorite of the week.
All right, let's get to your favorite of the week then.
Second favorite, I lied. But
this one also goes out to the one and only solo Wookiee who I'll talk about after this.
I actually think Coy was the one that brought this to my attention. Maybe like 4 years ago, he talked about this book, and I'm like, it's different. So this is the Wizard 1 SDCC variant. Same McFarlane cover with the wizard hat kind of added and some details. But interesting kind of reading. There are 16 in the census for the SDCC, 298s, only one sale. This is it, the only one. A 9.4 did sell in December for $75.
yeah,
That's it. That's the only GPA data on this puppy.
Wow.
What I found more interesting, honestly, is the standard, only 118 in the census. For how many of us fucking read this book and treasured it, there's only 118 in the census. 5 9/8s.
Is this of the #1 or the San Diego Comic-Con variant?
Of the regular. Because I got down the wormhole because there wasn't a lot of data to talk about here. So of the original, 118 graded, 5 9/8s. 4 of them are signed by, I assume, McFarlane. 4 SSs.
Wow.
Only one blue label is sitting out there. Well, I assume only one blue label unless it got cracked and resubmitted. Who knows?
Wow.
But a 9.8 SS signed by a Todd sold this year. I'm sorry, I didn't write the date for some reason. $300. Which to me, that seems like a bargain. Would you pay? I mean, Todd's signature is $200 at this point, isn't it?
yep.
Absolutely.
I would have bought that if I'd been thinking about it in a heartbeat. That is like one of those childhood like memories in a instant.
Grading magazines is expensive and it's slow.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. We'll talk about magazines again. That's funny. We have at least 2 on this one.
And 2 that are big favorites in my collection personally. I love this book. You guys know I talk about not only the regular Wizard issues, but this issue a lot. Sometimes you find this issue and you can open it up and the inner poster is signed by McFarlane. So make sure you guys look in those at the inner poster. It'll be signed. Solo Wookiee picked one of these up for a buddy who ended up passing on it, and I saw this on the list today, and I contacted Solo Wookiee and I went, "Hey, you still got that book?" And he's like, "Yep." I'm like, "You selling it?" He's like, "Yeah, I picked it up and I'm just, I might try to get my money back on it." I'm like, "If it's yours, dude, keep it, because, just watch the show tonight." And I asked him what the grade he thought it was, and he thought maybe 9.6, 9.8 with a press. And I don't know how well these press, but to see.
He's got the SDCC.
It's the SDCC, yeah. And these are hard to find. Awesome. They're only given out in San Diego that year, so. Really tough books.
Dodson says he'd only pay $200 for a Todd Sig if he drew a foot underneath. But man, I'm just saying this book with the Todd Sig is the pinnacle of the 90s to me.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's dope. All right.
I in the collection I bought, the 7,000 boxes that still live in my basement to some degree, there were 2 Wizard ones because my brother helped me move it. And that was one of the first books as we were looking through it. I saw 2 of them. Like I handed him one. I'm like, this we're putting back because our copy is nowhere to be seen. I'm sure it fell apart.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how many times I read that thing.
I've told many times that Wizards are the book that I constantly buy every time I see them for $1 or $2 because they're the ultimate shitter reading material. They're ultimate shitter reading material. So
yeah, this is a fun book for me to see. It was just fun.
Yeah. On to the next one.
We jumped to old. I think we've talked about this one before. I don't remember.
We have. Here was the kind of the reason why I wanted to bring it up. The Marvel Disney movie, or there's that like Marvel Disney comic book.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Delato one, and then there's the other one,
which are going for crazy
$100, but now it's like $1,000, and then right. And meanwhile,
why not go for the original?
What the fuck? Are people out of their minds? I'm gonna stop.
All right. This one, I mean, there's not a ton of data on it, but I'll give you what I got. I mean, you got to remember it's 4-color series 1, not series 2. Series 1 was like 20 some issues. Series 2 went on for, I don't know, 1,000 some. 98 in the census. First Mickey Mouse in comics. Wow, what did I write here? A 9.2 is the highest graded. I think that's the church copy. I didn't put it in my notes, but I thought it was. And then there's 2.85s. After that, it kind of goes to a spread amongst the general public. A 9.2 in 2009 sold for $50K. An 8.0 in 2019, which is a lot closer, sold for $17K. Comparable sales to this book, which is what made me think we talked about it before, is a 2.0 sold for $1,200 and a 2.5 sold for $1,700, both in June of this year. So I think we saw one of those.
Yeah, I love this book. It just makes no sense to me what people pay for modern Disney, Marvel stuff, and when I compare the price point, it makes me want to buy one of these, to be perfectly honest.
Ben and I were talking at the end of Vintage Voyage on last night how like the duck books, Barks Ducks, a few years ago were, let's say 10 years ago, were through the moon, and people have just kind of cared less about them.
You mean like 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Oh, all right, sure.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, though. They were
the top 10 books.
Tier, absolutely. Yeah. And they are now, no one cares. And should we be buying them?
Well, look at the Granoff Mickey Mouse covers and all the Granoff like duck books that are coming, and Goofy's going to come out with one. I mean, it's
the Delatos?
Oh, the Delatos. I mean, yeah, they're all going to, instant sellouts, man. I mean, it's going to be.
I don't know, man. The first appearance of Mickey, first Donald. I can't imagine there's not some kind of value trend, or are the same people buying those not interested in these, or they just don't know?
They don't know, probably. I mean, when I go through, I mean, is anybody going through like Walt Disney stuff or anything like that? Like, you know, it's like honestly, when you see gold key books or 4-color books, are you really going through that box? I mean, not too many people, I would say. I mean,
I do, but that's only because Sleepy and Jimmy and I like made a commitment to no longer have that sort of hole in our collecting thing, and we'd learned them. Doc Joe's right. That first Looney Tunes, I think, is a smart buy too. And are we going to talk about the Western book you taught me that started me down my Western rabbit hole?
Well,
we are. Yeah.
First, let's bring in.
Let Anthony go.
Yeah. Anthony, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream, real quick, everybody. Anthony from Bird City Comics. What's going on, brother? Drop your mic down. I don't know if anybody can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear
Hi,
you.
buddy.
You should give him the full screen, man.
I am going to give him the full
dead
screen.
center.
Yes, but before we give him full screen, I want to talk about something that Bird City Comics is pretty excited to announce, and that is they talked about it on the Hot 10 show this last week, but this new beautiful limited print run comic of Tigumverse that is just a gorgeous Ryan Kincaid cover. Talk about how'd you score this, man? This is gorgeous.
Yeah, so we actually are working. Oh man, we dropped it on our show tonight, so we can go ahead and say it now. Bird City Comics has, we'll say, going with Greg Horn. Greg Horn is actually going to release Punchline #1 for us on our behalf.
And this is a gorgeous Greg Horn homage of the Venom virus issue that I think we gave away on the show a month ago, and like. This just gorgeous, man.
So Greg Horn was on my mind, and then the Tigumverse opportunity came up, and I'm like, let's do an homage to Greg Horn. So we definitely started these, and they came in, they printed beautiful. You guys can see that, and then of course you got the logo on the back, which is gorgeous, and we're cooking.
That's awesome, dude. That is gorgeous. It's a really good homage. We all love the Greg Horn stuff over here. We're big Greg Horn fans on the show, homers.
Beautiful.
But perfect timing, man.
I liked how it all timed out there. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this book, we just loaded them on the website, so you can go to birdcitycomics.com, check them out. Definitely join the Bird City Comics Peeps. That is our fan page. You know, we leak everything first there, so all kinds of goodies, and then you guys can probably hear Tim and Laura in the background. We're live streaming right now, and they're giving me dirty looks. But guess what?
Everything is crazy. Yeah, so make sure you guys go check out birdcitycomics.com, not only for this awesome cover, but for their infinity frames, gorgeous infinity frames. And make sure you guys check out the Hot 10 every Friday night, where you can catch Bird City and Mighty Mel V along with me and Ben S., the one and only writer of the Hot 10. But gorgeous cover, Anthony. You guys are kicking ass over there, and we really hope some of our viewers go out and score some serious badass covers. So, man, good job.
Awesome to me. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Quick shout, and guys, keep cooking away. I was watching the show earlier, and you guys rock.
All right, thanks, Anthony. We'll see you later, bro.
Bye, buddy.
Later. All right, let's get back to where we were, which was there. Bada boom.
All right. Yeah, we're out of order, but we'll talk about werewolves in honor of our boy Sean Legit on the various shows this week.
Yeah. Okay, where were we at? Is this it?
Do the werewolf.
All right. Where did I go to? Did I hit the werewolf? Where's the werewolf?
It was there a second ago. There we go. We went out of order, but that's all right. This one is.
I like this cover. It's one of my favorites.
This is one of those. To me, it's all right. So it's from 1951, but it's kind of like in my head, it's the classic werewolf. I know it's not the Bela Lugosi type werewolf, but it's the Teen Wolf werewolf, man.
Yeah.
If you look at it, I see Teen Wolf. Tough book from Ace Periodicals.
I didn't know this was up. I would have bid on it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, this is one on a lot of people's watch list that I don't see a lot of. This, if it truly is in the condition it was a good buy.
Stole it.
31 in the census. top of the census is 80 times 3, and then it kind of drops off pretty severely after that. September 2019, one of those went for 1,000. But I mean, werewolf collectors are kind of picking up for some reason. It's a cover theme. You know, you got the Marvel Tales one, you've got some of these other ones, and this is one of those really great ones that is tough. I mean, it's not a big printed title, so solid book to grab.
Would you say it's in a line of horrific, maybe?
I don't think the whole series is as good as horrific, but this cover is a fantastic one.
All right.
All right, Fight Comics. This is actually a one I completely overlooked, but this is one that Nico caught, and I haven't actually seen this one before.
I like Women in Bondage.
It's a solid bondage cover. I mean, you got a woman basically in front of a freaking jet engine.
It's dope.
Nuts as it is. Did a little random research. It's a Dan Zolenovich cover. There's some Cardi art and Lee Elias inside, but Dan Zolenovich. Ooh, tough one. 17 in the census. 17, not 70. A 9-2, and then the next one is a 7-0. So big freaking spread, and then after that, it's garbage time. The church copy is the 9-2, way back in 2005, sold for $2,000 and change. More recently, last year, a 5-0 sold for $1,080, and this year in May, a 4-0 sold for $650. So if this is anywhere near an 8, that's a monster book. I mean, if it's even a 7.5, you've just moved to number 2 on the census. If it's got pressable defects, I mean, you could beat the church copy on a good day, you know?
But you know what's funny is Fight Comics, I think, is underrated. They have some great covers. I think what's that other one? Is it Ace Comics? It's the one where she's tied up to the propeller, kind of.
Airboy.
Yep. Volume 5, number 7 or something.
Oh.
Like, this is one I would have zoomed by. Just it isn't in my classic cover brain, but when you see it, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, skip the Spawn and go to the Tim Holt first, so we get out of the old ones, then we'll move forward.
I didn't even know this was up. Did you know it was up?
Yes, I did, but I
I
wasn't.
gotta figure out which one the Tim Holt one was. Sorry, man.
I wasn't ready to bid on it. I'm trying to behave.
Let me figure out which one
I
it is.
honestly didn't know a good price for it either.
Who does? It just keeps going up. Driving me freaking nuts. This thing's been moving for the last year.
It's black and red with a yellow center.
All right, let's see here.
Look
Unfortunately,
for
we
a
got
clown.
I'm just gonna go through them, guys. So
All right. Yeah, it's fine. We'll come back to them. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Joe, we're not going to skip Spawn.
there we go.
That one.
Bing.
All right. So this book, I don't know if this is well known a long time or if I stumbled upon it. I think Nico and I were talking one night, and I'm like,
We're talking
No, but
about
this damn
westerns that matter. And
Yeah,
this one
and-
does. The Zodiac Killer.
there is some string theory that the Zodiac Killer stole some elements of his crimes from this book. I don't know if it's new or if
Well,
somebody
they found it in his freaking in his house.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if this is info that
Wait,
like
whose house? They don't know who the Zodiac Killer is yet.
I don't fucking know, dude. I thought they found it in his house.
I don't know about that. I know that they're like some of the crimes. The crime is based upon something in here is similar to some of his scenes, is what I knew.
Okay.
So this is a book that nobody would have thought twice about for years.
Yeah,
Tim-
DS. I hope it doesn't stick. I want one. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, DS, you're right. I don't know. This is one I haven't put my money on. I mean, truthfully, I only want the Frazetta stuff, the early stuff. But this one has definitely somewhere sparked out of the CGC boards.
It's bizarre.
And some of the elements in this story, as I said, apparently tied to some of the Zodiac Killer something. I haven't read it because God knows I don't have one.
Help us out with
Zodiac-
the CGC stuff.
Yeah,
Or the GPA stuff. I'm sorry.
it came
So
out
it
of the
says-
board.
I'm trying to find the stuff here. It says the Zodiac Killer may have used Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Golden Bug, to create some of the ciphers. Here we go. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Tim Holt, issue 30, Lady Doom comic book. The comic has been linked to the Halloween card by the similarities of the Death Wheel and the back of the Halloween card. Interesting. So he probably was reading this while he was making his ciphers, because
Or it
it
was in his
says
brain from-
it says death
So
by
weird.
gun, death by gun, death by knife, death by knife, death by rope, death by dice. So yeah, that's interesting. I like shit like this. That's a great little a little find there, Z. That's very interesting.
Well,
it
I
used to
didn't
sell
find
for what,
I
like
didn't find the
$600?
spec, man. I just found the book sell at an odd number. I mean, I happened at one point in my life have Tim Holt as a saved search, looking for cheap Frazetta. But
Or
So,
first Ghost Rider.
yeah, in the census, there are 7.
Mm.
Thanks, Jamie. We appreciate it, buddy. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
4 are under 4. The Mile High is an 8.5, and there's a 6 and a 5.5. That's it. So honestly, this 3.5 is probably the mid. This is the middle graded copy. Mile High sold for $225 in 2009. Sorry, not 2019.
Wow.
2009. A 1.0 sold in August of this year for $700. And then this one sold for $1,000. I think this theory is fairly new. Like, I don't know if it's 2 years new, 1 year new, or 5 years, but it's not like something that's been in comic lore forever. So it's one of those, somebody tied a theory and everybody wants it. In the grand scheme of Western covers, it's not bad. There's some stuff going on.
It's great. It's great. Look at the with the chick standing there and she's drawn well and her leg on the chair like that. That's a great cover, man.
Listen, I always have this in my save searches. I never see a freaking copy come up. I don't know if I'm not putting it in right or other people aren't putting it in right. I get a bunch of crappy photos, and then DS says one just sold for $200.
I saw that one too. It was beat, but yeah.
Was it beat? Like how beat? Like it had
I
a
don't
cover still?
It did, but it was lower.
All right.
I do enjoy when DS joins, man. He's the only one fucking hardcore than I
Yeah.
on this stuff. He's down
Yeah,
more rabbit holes than me.
Dude, that's my dude. I need to get him back on the Saturday night show just so I can pick his brain.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome, my friend. I love talking with
That's
you.
our buddy.
Well, we're gonna piss him off because we're probably gonna jump to a book that's no longer Golden Age. So let's do it.
No, we try and touch on them all. All right, throw me what you want next. All right, so we're gonna do a trilogy of Spawn tonight because, god damn it, I don't know, and I hate this book.
I love
I
all
can't
books.
believe
I love
all-
all books.
Well, I can't believe that all of these were up the same Sunday.
I don't know if it was one seller or not. I should have looked a little more closely.
Like the Trinity of Spawn rarities. I was like, holy crap.
Hey, I needed money.
What I do enjoy, Nico, because I went to research the census. 13, the error variant has its own category.
Wow.
1, the error variant is mixed in with the green label shit. So nobody knows what's what. Enjoy. So on this one, I took all this from the August show. We talked about it on August 9th because a 8.5 went for $5.96, which was a pretty solid bid. 9.2 sold in November of 18 for $1,000. I sold a 9.4 to a friend of mine for $900 2 years ago. So I probably am fucked now. But it makes up for the fact that I told him not buy a TMT 198. So it's a consolation prize.
Wait, say that again.
Our boy TJ, we talked about buying a 9.8 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But I sold him this book at a really good deal, so at least he got that consolation prize. 58 in the census, 398s, 496s, and 12 9/4s. $2,000 is the highest sale for this grade, and damn it, great sale. Great sale, great book. I kind of wish I had it. I like this better than the -1, honestly.
Well, it's kind of funny that good old Matt DeVoe, says his ultimate grail is the Spawn one there because he had a chance at buying his ultimate grail.
I like the back cover of this more than I like that one. I actually, if I could slab this backwards, I would. The 13. But all right, so let's go to the other one. Is Spawn 1 is don't know how many are on the census because it's a green label. Green label. So there are 231 green labels, but that could be all kinds of things. Anything from a popped centerfold to a staple broken to a Todd signature that's not verified. Lots of things could be green label. There's less than 231 of them graded. In 2015, a 9.8 sold for $28.25. In 2018, one sold for $1,700. So if you were that buyer, goddamn, you're happy. They listed $250 sale, but I can't think that was right. I think that's probably a glitch in the matrix. So either of those price buy-ins at $6,700, you are real happy. A 9.6 sold in August for $1,500. So you're paying $4 and change for that 9.8 premium, but I might do it on that book.
I mean,
if you're a Spawn fan, you want the best of the best of the best.
I don't even think that's the best of the best of the best. I think it's that Spawn Eastern Washington University book.
Oh, you want to talk about that book too? Same damn book. It's same seller. Look at the pictures. I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
Somebody getting out of it. We talked about this a few weeks ago, so I stole the data back up. 400 produced, supposedly, mostly signed. A 9.8 sold in December of 19 for 23 and change. A 9.6 sold in January of 19 for 1,600. In the census, there's 17 blue labels, 6 green, and 10 yellow. 198, 196, 194, and 192. I didn't track the color, but that's it. After that, they go down. So you have the second best copy in the census, unless this was a newly graded one, which I doubt. Solid price. It beat the 9.8 price, but that was 8 months ago. So totally believable that it probably would go. Since
People are
there's,
starting to realize how rare they really are. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm going to say this again. In the census, 198, 196, 194, 192. You are so far ahead of the rest of the curve, it's ridiculous.
yep.
How many do you think there are just sitting out there?
Not many.
Not
How
many.
many got thrown away by people that don't care?
Yeah, trash.
Dude, it was at a university. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember what it was like to be in college?
Yeah, but like, I don't want this shit. What,
I threw away textbooks.
It got
Think about about some
left in the
random comment.
parade field.
Oh,
it's either the parade field, the trash can, or somebody stuffed it in a Mel V style in their backpack. I mean,
No, I mean there were probably. I mean there's 17 graded. There were like 20 comic guys there that were like, "Oh, I need this." They probably weren't even graduates. Just guys that were new. Todd was coming.
they were part of the AV club, man.
They were waiting because they wanted a Todd Sig, and they were catching the grads as they walked by, going, "I got $40 for beer if you want to sell me that comic. $20, whatever." You know what I mean?
That would have been dope. That would have been sweet if you were that person that thought of that. Or if you were just that comic fan that graduated that night and they just told about that and you're like, dude, I'm sitting out here and buying all of these off these guys.
Well, he didn't buy many because I mean, you'd see more graded if so, right?
Yeah. Is that where Todd McFarlane went to college to play baseball? Didn't he play baseball there?
I won't commit to baseball, but I do know it was his school.
Yeah. So. All right, on to the next one. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I've been praying for these books to go up in price, but I did the ultimate
No.
stupid.
Do you know what this one is?
Is it the 5th print?
No.
The Walmart one?
I can't see.
No. This is shout out to my boy D. I will maintain your anonymity, but he hit me to this auction. This is the investor copy. I should have bid on it, to be perfectly honest, but I was
What's
like,
the investor copy?
So at their annual meeting for investors, note that there is no UPC symbol.
No, all I could find, it was a 75th anniversary book from 2014 given out within Time Warner. That's all I could find. Within Time Warner.
And it's signed. That's dope.
There are a couple of versions. There's some signed by Snyder and Capullo, and some signed by them, plus some additional people that didn't stand out immediately. I don't know if they were letters. I don't know who they were. I don't know if they were. I don't know who they were. They were on the label. 175 graded. Single 175 graded. Every single one is an SS. So I'm guessing it got encapsulated at site. 135 or 9/8, 23 or 9/6s, 10 or 9/4s, 4 or 9/2s, and I think there were a few garbage below that. I think we can assume there were probably 175 because it sounds to me like they signed them and graded them right there, right? I don't know how else you do an SS.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea how this one rolled, but it is sweet for this was the run that kind of like made me fall in love with comics again. I think it did that for so many of us. To hell with a 1 in 200 variant or a combo pack variant. Like this would be the copy to own. I didn't know enough about it. Didn't have enough time to research it. Didn't have enough time to kind of like figure out where it was at. And much like your brother, I was like,
You didn't. Well, the issue is now we fucked it up because truthfully, this wasn't even the high sale. January 9/8 went for $650, so this was below that. 2015 was the only other sale I could track in a 9/8 was for $400. It had some extra SIGs I wasn't immediately familiar with. 6 sales on GPA ever.
wow.
Highest was 2019 for highest was 2019 for $875. Because truthfully, these probably went to people with big fucking money that don't even think about reselling it.
Yeah. How many of these suckers are going to hit the market? People are going to have to die.
That's cool.
You remember that one time when you wanted to sell your 8.5 for absolutely nothing?
That's why I call you before I make big decisions these days.
I sold my 7.5, and I still kind of regret it at some point.
We talked about the 8.5 sale, I think last week. There was a auction for $24.50. There was a buy it now. I didn't research further this week for an 8.5 that was somewhere near that. But this was a high sale for the 9.0.
Dude, when I saw this price tag on this book, all I could think about were like 90s hip hop videos, like with cars jumping. I was just like, oh my God.
You mean like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, nothing but a G thing?
Unbelievable the money on this thing. Whew.
What's crazy to me, you want to guess how many 9.0s have sold this year?
Probably 1.
15!
Get the fuck out of here.
I fucking shit you not. 15
Wow.
9.0s have sold this year. In my head, there weren't 15.
I don't follow it like I should.
We covered this the other week, and 8.5 actually is only like the 20% mark on grades. There's a lot of 9.0s and 9.2s, but I think it's still like that 8.5 is the investment grade and above on this particular book. I mean, serious money is like 9.6 and 9.8, but like I think somewhere between 8.5 and 9.0 is the jump point.
I didn't look at this listing. Did you go back and look? I just wonder if there were pressable defects or if somebody thought they had a shot or if this was just solid 9, walk away.
I didn't look close enough to think that. My assumption is always if it's in a modern case,
Not much,
probably
right?
pressed it. Yeah, right? Unless it just looks perfect. It's the highest sale of the year. The lowest sale this year was 2,500 and change, but it's generally a trending up book, which it has been. I mean, we talked about 8.5s, we've talked about other grades, but just
I wonder if this is a tip about what we're going to see at the investor meeting. I know we're in bad shape, but don't worry, Keanu Reeves is going to play Ghost Rider.
It's not even that big a jump, though. I mean, because it's been trending like this all year. It's just been up.
Wow.
I think it's because it's that last character. People are like, let's do it. You did fucking Blade. Let's do it.
Bro,
you got Moon Knight, teased us. Give us the motherfucking Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Why? It's not the tip game. Stop. Just give me the tip.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
White pages. It is a nice looking copy, DS.
All right.
At least he went and looked at it for us. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Probably,
I don't even know if this is this week. I could be off a few weeks, but I stumbled upon it somehow. It's recent.
It's a beautiful copy.
So this book, second highest graded in the census. Hold on. 17 in the census right now. Highest is a 9.6. This is the 9.4, only one. This book could not be graded until they did the new cases, which the regular books went, 3-4 years ago? But they took forever to run through the magazine size. This is like Warrior 1, those UK extra tall motherfuckers that are so tough to deal with. They wouldn't grade them in the old slab, so there's not a lot graded. They're so tall, I think they all got beat to hell. I looked back at this one and thought, oh, shit, I would pay twice that for this book in my head. Because I've seen this book sell in, the 4 to 6 range for $400 or $500 at times. A 9.4, are you kidding me? I mean, how many copies of this book have you seen, McClay?
One.
I mean, I watch it on eBay a lot. I've got one copy that I think's maybe in the 5s.
I own one, and then I sold it like a moron. And from the moment that I haven't had it, I've been like, should probably get another deadline. But they're a pain in the ass, dude. I had to get mine from the UK, have it shipped over here in a tin can. From somebody who kind of knew it was valuable, but clearly wasn't a comic person.
Mm-hmm. Even if they are a comic person, they probably don't have anything to ship it in because it's too damn tall.
Yeah, it's a disaster. You got to put it in
a U-Haul storage thing and put it 2 pieces in a small U-Haul storage cardboard and make a big Gemini.
I mean,
one of those Life magazine things, and you got to cut it up. Is that what you did, buddy?
I'll show you.
I taped 2 My Lights together. No, I don't even do that. I got it in a. Oh yeah, you did Life. I put it in a top loader.
No, these are Mylars. These are magazine-sized Mylars that I just taped 2 of them together, and you barely have enough to tape. You can't fold over, but you barely have enough.
Yeah, it's so tall.
Yeah. So, and this is a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous copy. I mean, you can see a couple spine ticks, but
yeah, they're paying.
But think about a 9.4.
I couldn't. This is I thought this was nice. I thought this was nice. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is.
I
We're gonna regret not buying that deadline.
Well, because some asshole showed me a thorn. I didn't even see this till then, and some asshole showed me a thorn, the first appearance of Bone, that I meant to put on here, but I think you had it on your list. I hope you did. We're not talking about it tonight, so either way.
Which one?
The
Thorn sold?
Yeah, the thorn.
Tales from the Lantern?
Come on, put it up.
I didn't bring it. 5K. 5K change.
I don't even want to talk about it, dude. I didn't even know it was up for auction. It literally pains me to think about it. I'm actually glad we're not talking about it. I'm sorry, whoever brought it up. Shame on you. Shame on Mike.
I would have bought it too.
Yeah, right.
It's just not one I track anymore because they never come up.
Never, dude. I was in my saved searches legitimately since the last one came up. I pulled it out of my saved searches like a month ago when I was just like, it's not going to happen.
Because you wanted to add some bullshit second print.
I don't even want to talk about
That's how it happens, man.
I learned from Tony that you just let it roll. I think he's been looking for like 5 or 6 books. that come to my email every day, and it just, you know.
You hope for that one notification that's the right one.
He did it one day. He was looking for one. I can't remember what book it. Like after 4 years, it finally popped up, and he bought it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's usually when I give up and I miss it.
Me too. It's about a year since the last one, and it was Half Price Crook's friend who found it in Columbus. I'm 2 hours away from Columbus. I've been all over the area looking in bookstores, comic book shops, like talking to people like, hey, so have you ever heard of this thing called? And they just look at me like, yeah, we've heard of it, or no, and I don't care. Get away from me.
All right, one more book, and we got to fucking talk about this.
Oh boy,
this is a 9.6 price.
Wow,
$22.50 straight auction. Wow. I pulled my notes because the first time I brought this up was June 29th, because I'm like, there's strange things going on. There was a 9.4 that sold for $900, and I'm like, that's like triple the average out of fucking nowhere. Census 43.98s, 96.96s, 101.94s, 506 graded at the time. So 9.4s were up, 9.6s. That was 3 months ago. We're floating between 800 and 900. So a 9.4 sold for the same price as all the 3 sales early in the year for the 9.6s. Since then, we've seen 1,500. I sold one at 1,600 thinking that's a crazy price. I've seen some at 17. Some bastard let an auction roll and got 22.50. So, goddamn. I did kind of watch and see that an SS 9.8 sold about 2 months ago. So as all this was ramping up for somewhere between 4,500 and 5K.
I think like 48.
I think he's going to look back and think was fucking terrible, because in my head the 9.6 has always trended at about a third of the 9.8 price, so a 9.8 SS should be like a 6K book. Just to say, I think this is a matter of the Copper Age kind of Turtles phenomenon. High tide raises all. You know, Turtles is gone. Primer made some jumps. This book was next.
All I want to say is I am pleased with the attention to detail that you have notes for this fucking show, and you are able to go back and look at them. I'm extremely, extremely impressed.
Yeah. Z's like an accountant.
Yeah. I mean, do you have like a file drawer like Sean's magic drawer that you just pull all these notes and like, yeah, see, it's a Captain's Kirk log, like log 3572. This is podcast 112 I did.
It's called a Google Drive. It's an amazing thing.
Well,
Three.
It's actually Nico's fault because Nico's fault because Paul would do it and we'd delete them every week and they'd be gone. Yeah. Nico started putting a date and saying, "Let's put a new one."
My Google Drive is full of Nico's shitty market report photos that I'll never obtain those books from.
I appreciate that.
They're a constant reminder of how much of a failure in comic life I am.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, Rick Dodson, the other prints. Other prints are fucking ghost, my friend. There are 2 9.8 second prints. I own one of them. There are no 9.8 third prints. I think there's only 1 9.6. I do not own it, but I would.
And what's that other book you always say when you bring the Crow up? It's like the preview book, but it has like a skeleton dude on it, like the guitar skeleton headband.
Oh,
dude.
not the Caliber Presents, but the other one with the guy with the gray hair.
Yeah.
Monster, or I have them right here. Hold on.
What are you talking about? I don't even know.
Talking about the preview. On the back, it's got the back ad.
These ones, Dead World.
Oh, Dead World. Yeah.
I mean, I think the Crow's, besides just the lore and the coolness of the Crow movie when it came out, I think that there's been a lot of Crow offshoots, but I think that the Caliber Presents the Crow and that Dead World. I think there's just only 3 real keys. You know what I'm saying, right, Z? I mean,
people are jumping on that McFarlane Image variant, man. I had 2 9.8s. And there's only a handful. I bought them at 1 1/4 2 years ago. I sold one instantly at $250 not long ago. Mm-hmm. and I sold the other 2 weeks ago at $375 within a few hours. So that one, while not a key, people are digging on it because it's McFarlane. So,
Well, how long until you start thinking about selling some of your copies?
I sold a 9.6 and I already regret it. I won't fucking do it again. That's it. I'm waiting. I let one fucking go, and this is what happens.
You know what Z's gonna happen? Z's gonna wait for just like the Lost 23, where he thinks it's gonna be the perfect time, and then he's gonna get hit with an $800 sale or something.
Oh yeah. No, that was the Spider Gwen, which is even worse because the launch has been stable. The fucking Spider Gwen.
Yeah.
Don't fucking talk to me, man. That was a
the old layer variant
times 10. I don't even talk about it.
Any of you guys got any pickups?
I do.
I do. Deno, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna derail the show, so okay, let's go. I don't even have them all. So, our boy Evan,
Taylor.
Yep, on Discord. He says, "Hey, buddy, do you need any Senzel stuff? Because I collect Nick Senzel, the Cincinnati Reds." And he told me, he goes, "Hey, I bought you some stuff for housewarmings, last baby, all this good stuff that's been happening with me." So he got me some Senzel stuff. The lighting is going to be pretty terrible, but they have like the sepias and black and whites of all the new 2020 stuff. So that would be 2020. I haven't even known because I can't even get any of this stuff around me. So this is, 2020 refractor stuff. This is an old 2020 from, I'm sure this is the Heritage, right? Or no, this is Topps Chrome. No, this is Heritage. Heritage it's a fake SIG from Heritage for 2020. This is the Stadium Club. That's kind of dope because look, he's showing his guns off like a fucking champ. So, and then this one, and then I got a purple one on one of these. It's number 8 McClay out of like 299, so low number. And then a chrome turkey. So I appreciate Evan, and he told me that's not even half the stuff I got, so I'm kind of worried how much stuff's going to come to my crib. And I do, hold on one second, I threw it away, but my wife has let me, so I don't really dox myself and stuff like that, but so I guess I'm just doing it like this. So what they do now is, so he kind of puts like a Big Papa on the old mailing label. So my mail lady first found out that she's like, "Who is Big Papa?" As the mail lady came by for the first time at the house. I'm like, "Oh boy!" So that's kind of awkward.
The new mail lady or the old mail lady?
The new mail lady.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Tip that broad one time at Christmas and she'll be your best friend.
Yep. She was super ecstatic to meet me. She goes, "Yeah, I put your card in there already." And I'm like, "Oh boy."
Give that lady a little tip at the holidays. You are in gold. She
was super happy. You know, the bad part is, so I don't know, I guess I can talk about this because I bought it already and nobody really cares about it. So I bought a Horizon 1 Peach Momoko 9.8 CGC, but I bought it back in May before I moved. Now I forwarded all my mail to my new address. So I hit up the guy on eBay and was like, "Dude, can you just send it to either my parents' house or my new address?" And he gave me the stone cold no. And I was like, "Fine, whatever, dude." So hopefully that mail gets forwarded on my new mail. If it doesn't, I have the guy who bought my house's phone number. So, I mean, it's not like I can't text him, but it's just going to be inconvenient to go to the old crib. I got to pick up mail anyways, but.
Yeah. You don't want your book to go there.
Yeah, I mean, he said it. I said, "Hey, I'm getting something from eBay." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I'll just set it aside. No big deal." I mean, it wasn't that big of, it's just an inconvenience of going to the new. I got to go there anyways one time at least, but still. But. So that's my pickups. That's all I got. Oh, I don't have it. So I guess since we're in pickup mode, what they lack, I'm in retail only now, Brian. Retail only. So, and I do not have a real comic book place by me anymore since I moved up north. I have this place called Comic City, which only has new stuff that comes out. And if you're not there Wednesday at like 10 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to get a variant if they even ordered a variant of 5 to 10 maybe. So pickings are slim for me right now. So
I am closer to a Second and Charles though. So
Yeah, it could be
Oh
good.
yeah,
Depending on the right
that's your
store.
spot, dude.
yeah, but
Depends on the store, man. Do they got a good buyer or a shitty buyer?
it's I've got a couple. I got that Black Panther variant where he was sitting on the throne back in the day.
Nice.
That was there for like a week. I got a couple of good books there, but like all the back issue books are just terrible. They've been sitting there for 25 years, and they're like, well, these have to sell until we get the other ones on. I'm like, these aren't going to sell. That's why you don't leave them there. And
I mean, it's like half price books, man. You either got the best place or the worst.
Yeah, it's in between. The keys aren't that great either. I mean, I go and I have like a ASM gold print of 361 or 361 or 316, the Carnage one, and it's like $60. I'm like, I'm good, and it's like a 7.0. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, it's not that great, and it's like they have like a signed copy of like a Star Wars book of no values. It's like Star Wars number 5. It's like, who gives a shit, really? So that's my current life, boys.
Not bad, dude. At least you're sitting in a nice, new, beautiful home.
Yeah.
we'll overcome. We
Looks
shall
good,
overcome.
dude.
Yeah, I'm not worried. That means I just got to hit up eBay more. You hit up eBay or talk to Nico or hit CG. I don't know. I got to figure something out. On the side, we'll talk after the show. What I guess I don't want to segue out of this segment, but if you had a lot of money, we'll say, what book would you buy? We'll say, what do you want to say, Nico? North of.
Well, everybody wants to know how to spend 10 and turn it into 50. That's what everybody wants to know. It's impossible to do.
Or 10 and turn it into 20. How do you double your money on a big? It's like, what do you buy? It's like
You can't.
you can't.
How does Mikey Halpern do it?
You can. It's the right book.
Buying books because you think they're investment opportunities, or buying books because you're a speculator and you think that book's going to go up. Like if I ran a fucking retail shop, okay, listen, for all the retail guys that are struggling and you get stuck watching my dumbass on the stupid fucking show because you're like, why can't I make money in retail? Pray to God that people are speculators. There's no money to be made doing that, okay? Money is made by buying comics for less than they're already fucking worth. Period. Point blank.
Or
less than their work after you smush them and they're pressed and cleaned and re-slabbed, or less than they're worth because you bought it from somebody and you can sell it to somebody else who values it for more. All this other shit is just like good luck.
I mean, do you buy an AR-15 and hold it for a year and see if you can? I mean, it's just stuff like that. Like, do you buy a super key and think it?
We'll talk privately. I've got some fucking good ideas.
Oh boy,
I think.
oh boy, my wife's gonna murder me.
Yeah.
And I just get blame it on Nico. I'm like, yeah,
It's Nico's fault. Greek shit.
There's this degenerate from West
Just
Virginia.
say it's Greek shit, honey. Greek shit.
yeah, super stoked. She did ask me she's like, so do you think you can double your money? I'm like, oh, this is not going in the right direction. I might as well just go to a blackjack table and throw it on black and let it ride. I probably
Turning over. Yeah, there we go. John's Comics box. Buy, sell. Buy, sell.
Yeah. Grind it out, man.
I'm terrible at that too.
Grind
I
it
guess
out.
you're as good as anybody I've ever met.
Well, I mean, the problem is like I got to buy a collection, and then I got to spend time with that collection. Like Z, right? I mean, you bought that collection, you turned it pretty decently, but it's like, man, it's like
a lot of work.
Yeah. And you have 4 kids. I have one who's 4 months, so it's I can't really put him to work. I mean, I could. He gets slobber all over.
My kids are worthless. Don't worry.
Wow.
Well, you got pickups?
Do I have pickups?
You always have pickups.
I got freaking pickups up the moon. Oh, do I have pickups that happen to be the topic we were talking about? Yes, I do.
Bing, bing, bing. Speaking of
Our
crap,
man Nico has had these books for me for probably 9 months, and COVID hit, and they were at a buddy's house somewhere. He had some Italian buy them for me, and he was going to meet him. The Crow set is only 5 countries, including the U.S., but the frickin' Italians made some special editions. So one copy of the Crow #1 cover, which is actually a 0. 2 copies of the Crow #1 cover. Notice red versus gold, also a 0. 3 copies.
Oh,
with
get out of
silver
here.
lettering, also a 0. Then the traditional look with the red, but at #1. Fucking Italians. I got to research this.
I'd hate to be an Italian watching this show because
I am an Italian watching this show.
Yeah, I'm just
And
saying.
then the 2 and the 3. So they did it in 3 books. Well, 4 with a 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0. And actually, I think the 1 is a back cover, not a front cover. Yeah, so I think this is the back, and these are all fronts. But they did 4 editions of the #1 cover in Italy, and my friend Nico hooked me up with them after much hustling.
You know the amount of hatred you have for Italians in the foreign market because they can't ship very decently is off-putting here. I'm sure our Italy segments are just checking out after you speak.
Well, learn to ship a book, my friends.
Oh boy!
So I had to get a Frenchman to do it, and the Germans are exceptional. Also, because he loves me, he sent me the the most amazing / most horrific version of a Crow trade paperback. It's some kind of deluxe printing in Italian.
That's what you're calling it, deluxe?
Is that the image on the back of Dead World on the front cover?
Nope.
It's very Italian.
No, on the front cover. Where's that image from the front cover from?
It's not that one. I don't know. It's in the art, but it's not. That's not Dead World. But it's freaking holographic and shiny and amazing and in French. But it does have the original trade in there, plus like deluxe art sketches and things. So
it would be like that cover would be like if The Crow was turned into like a rom-com or like a romance novel. That could be the photo for it. That'd be like the news stores with all the other books.
Listen,
hide your girl. John's got the Corvo mag out.
And Nico and I have a special bond over. He hates The Crow so much, so to me, this is him saying, "You suck." And Nico, I love you, my friend. He also sent me some cool things. These were some Italian editions. Batman #1, Superman 1. And this is actually the non-version of that museum edition that people have been talking about. So this is the standard. So nice little book to kind of get it as a throw-in. And then this is one book I did not get from my friend Nico. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., La Prensa Mexican edition.
That's dope, man. Scotty Reagan had that one signed at Baltimore. It was dope by Steranko.
Can't go wrong with some Steranko. It was like $20. I will take Steranko in any language at that price all day long. And it's a fairly nice presenting copy. So that's me.
Beautiful.
You can feel free to use that Crow book on Instagram if you need to, Nico. It'll get you a lot of likes, like 4.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. All right. I grabbed one of these as soon as the news hit.
Do you want to take the good books out of the pile that you forget about are in there?
No.
Like last week, and you're like, I didn't mean to show that one.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, but I got lucky. But anyway, yeah. So this is like I don't know. It's like a store variant. Jonathan from Hive Comics used to work somewhere else, and they're the ones that published it. I don't know how many there are. First, they were like, "There's only 300." Then it was like, "There's only 3,000." I'm like, But anyway, that's the one that Daryl Dixon, Norman Reedus made the first appearance. Is that the retcon first appearance of Daryl in comics? Because we were here and I inadvertently showed that other comic, I had to go and buy the second print. And then I bought the crazy one that Steve Horn was telling me about. Who do you think sold it to me? You know, John.
Timmy Walker.
Yes, he did. We're going to talk about shipping, Tim.
Oh, boy.
The best shipper, I've bought comic books on and off for a long time. The best shipper I've ever seen is John's brother, who was kind enough, out of the kindness of his heart, he just sent me these books for free. I tried to pay them for me. He's like, no, you're a nice person. Just sent them to me. Look how nice they are. They're freaking newsstands. They're gorgeous. And he ships better than anyone ever. I don't know what his eBay store is. He works for the post office. He uses it like, all right, you ready? This is Tim Walker's contraption. What the fuck is this? What is this?
That is very Tim Walker-esque.
Yeah, and then I couldn't get it out and shit. I was like, this is all bad,
stories of Tim Walker sending like people pressure about like 12 grand worth of books in a thing like that.
Yeah, it was just terrible. It was just like, what is happening? Anyway, and meanwhile, look at this goodness from.
I mean, that's basically plywood, but cardboard.
Mike Zurcher. He might as well have sent them encased in cement that shattered into beautiful separate pieces on command.
You do
it's
need
like
to
the
know
most
that
amazing thing I've ever seen.
Mike is a postal worker, so he knows the opposite.
Yeah, well, he should teach us all. I have a lot to learn.
Hey, that's government cardboard for you. That's not a.
No, that's not government cardboard. That's
Look
like
at this. Look how sick this is, dude. It was just like I was like, wow.
That's like triple thick stuff.
Yeah.
The triple box 12 mil. Come on, man.
You wear out a blade cutting that shit.
All right, so you guys know that I like to dig. What I realized is that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Champions, 1 second print. Apparently, this is like a $200 book all of a sudden. I was like,
what?
Yeah, I paid $3 a piece for them. Not sure how I'm going to sell them. Pretty excited about that. I love digging. Thank you, New Dimension. Also picked this one up at the dollar sale. It's a second print of some kind because our buddy Ben from Go Collect is like, buy the Champions. And I'm like, I've never bought a Champions book in my entire life. And then everything he talks about is like a gajillion dollars. So I was like, I'll buy some Champions books. And then somebody told me that the difference between the first print and the second print is a blue C. And I was like, I wonder if any of mine are blue. And then I realized I had like 4 of them. I paid a whopping $5 for this.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Very high grade. Very happy. And then you want to see my sucker buys. Sucker buy number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker. I don't even want to tell you how much I paid for it.
Too much.
Sucker buy number 2.
Yeah.
You don't even know what this is, do you, John?
So what it kills or some shit.
Stop. No. Deno, do you know what the name of this book is? Is Deno still on the podcast?
Deno's
here.
He's pulling a McClay.
Yeah. Are we freeze? Is a freezing cover that it's like something?
Just
like
the name of the series. Okay. Now, are we going to be over 3? McClay, do you remember the name of this series?
Yeah, isn't this It Eats the Children or whatever?
Nope. And on that note, I'm done. And this is why I love this podcast more than anything else in my life. It is my favorite place to be on Mondays. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
But
So
I'm the same guy that gives you a Western that you never heard of.
Oh, it was amazing.
You know me. I don't collect that crap.
Yeah, neither do I. That's why I was ashamed that I even bought them.
Oh, Colonel just killed us with this one.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
And before McClay goes, we had like 90 something, almost 100 in chat. I appreciate everybody like at least viewing.
100
almost. So, yeah, we're rolling.
It was once you guys you did the close up of me. They were like, "Oh
Yeah, pretty much.
Lord, what's wrong with that kid's nose?"
As my man,
12 guys left when nobody knew what that book was. So
yeah, as my man,
We
Dr.
offended the modern speculators.
As my man Dr. Disrespectful said, we have like 88,000 in the arena right now. So
Yeah, it was probably when I said that you couldn't make any money speculating on comics. I just broke the hearts of like 20 people they'll left.
yeah, they're like
Well, I
hey,
mean, the best way to do it is buy shit that's under market.
hey, you know when you said that Big Beaver Comics is coming after you, bro.
Oh, dude, that's my dude. Or I mean, he's my arch nemesis.
All right, McClay, what do you got today?
I just got one quick book. Shout out to Steve Horn.
Yes.
I collect the Nirvana homage covers, and
He's never seen
it up.
that.
He showed this in a chat, and I went, "Oh my god, what is that? I need to get that," because I try to find all the Nirvana homage covers. I still don't have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, but he hooked it up and sent me a really nice copy of the Power Rangers Nirvana cover homage, and I'm really stoked. So make sure you guys go check out My Bargain Comics. Right there, he's got some great articles over there and doing some cool stuff. So
When is that one from? Is that recent or far back?
no, this is recent, I believe. So yeah, very cool stuff.
Wow, I've never seen that.
Yeah, very cool, man. Even Ultra says he hasn't found the turtle stuff either. So that is a really cool book, and I'm really stoked about it. There's certain homage covers that I love, and that Nirvana set is a really cool one. So yeah. All right. Anything else, you guys?
I just want to say for the record,
thanks to John's
go ahead.
brother Mike
No, you go
again. I mean, he's just an incredibly. I was just incredibly decent of him. I can't really kind of capture how kind that was, but thank you.
I want to end this by saying this is like the first time in 6 months I've been on the whole show from start to finish. So I'm breaking a record too.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat again tonight. Chat was absolutely awesome. It's one of the best parts about this show. It's one of the reasons that the show is so much fun to do live, and we all look forward to the show, is getting to hang out with a lot of you guys. Make sure you guys say what's up if you ever see us in any other shows. There's a lot of other shows that we love out there. I know the Drunken Chat show is just going crazy. The Tales from the Dark Side is a great show. There's a big, huge community out there that we're loving playing in this big play box with. So definitely hit us up and let us know if you guys say what's up to us.
Can we take one last moment to sort of what's we're looking for? Appreciate that Steve Horn, who's smarter than fucking anyone I know, was like, "Oh, there's a Belgium variant of that goofy book that only you like," and then I tracked it down, and Tim Walker sold it to me.
Well, Tim Walker has it all. Oh, I do want to promote one thing. I forgot. I completely forgot. Global Comic Safari tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern. We're gonna do a live show. We've only done one other live show. We're gonna do Ghost Rider 1 cover set. So if you'd like to join, and God forbid I'm going with Matt Roybal without a net, please do.
Cover Lover, that is definitely something we're going to look into. I did not know about it, and I'm totally about that shit. So we'll take a look at that and probably talk about it next show. So very cool. All right, guys, we will see you next time. But before we leave, I'm glad you thought you stopped me for a second there, Z, by saying what you said, because I want to remind everybody, go check out Comic Barricade, get 10% off your order, and use the ship and get free shipping when using the code CBSI Tales. Listen, these things are like so valuable, you guys. They work so well. It'll save you a lot of headache, and the magazine ones look amazing. So for you guys that have big, huge magazine boxes or slab boxes, these things work amazing. Make sure you guys go check them out. Tell them that CBSI Tales from the Flipside sent you. Use the code CBSI Tales and get 10% off your order and free shipping. Other than that, we will see you guys next time. Adios.